Hey there everyone. In this video, we will be looking at how we can send email or attachment along with the email from Ansys. This is not just from Ansys, but any application that is using IronPython can send the email from that application. So basically there are two ways to send an email. The first one is using Python library. So it will be Python library, which is nothing but our SMTP library. It is SMTP library. The other way is using CLR module, which is using .NET framework method. So here we will use system.NET framework to access some of the system assemblies and namespaces. So there are two things which are common in both. So it requires four things for no matter which method you are using. The first one is you need a connection. You need a connection or client or a server to which you want to connect. So this is basically your Gmail server or maybe your Outlook or your personal SMTP server. And second thing you need is the login credentials. So this is credentials. Once you have the credential, you need a secure connection, so which is called as TLS. And fourth one is send message. So we will see all this. But remember, before you proceed in this video, this method does not work with Ansys, but I'm still going to show you that, and I will tell you why it is not working with Ansys. But this CLR module is working. So those who are interested just the working module can skip this Python library. I will start with Python library now. So I am in VS Code. It's an IDE. Here I am going to write the code, and you can see the Python version at the bottom. It is Python IronPython 2.7. And then let's start with the coding. So initially you have to import a module known as SMTP library, which is inbuilt in IronPython. You don't have to install any outside module. And then, as I said, you need four things. First is a connection, credential, TLS, authentication, and a message. So first, let us create a message. For message, you need four things. Here in message, you need, let me just rewrite once again. In credentials, you need a username and password. In message, you need a sender, receiver, and then you need a subject, and you need a body where you will type your messages. So let's go back to my ID. Let us create a message first. So first is sender. I already have my email ID and password stored in some Python file, so I'm not going to show that, but I will just import that module. So what it says is here I have my password saved, which is credential.py. From there I have a mail credential where I have email ID and password. So it's just a dictionary. Remember, this is a dictionary. From here, what I will do, I will just create a sender. So I have the sender email there itself. So it will be mail cred, and I have under one key called as sender, and then I have receivers. So here you need to make sure that it should be a list. Okay. I mean, why this is a list? Because sender is one, receivers can be many people, so that's why it should be a list. And here again I have it in my, I have only one receiver there, and I will show you what happens when you have multiple email address to be sent to. So at that time we will join all these receivers into one receiver string. Okay, I will show you that in a bit. And then once you have receivers, you have to get a subject, and subject is like test email, test email. So and then you have a body, and in that we will write this is a test email body. Now to create the actual message, it should something look like this, and you have to follow this string. So I will just copy, I have that script in my other window. So this has to match like from, and this is string formatting. So from, then to, then subject, and then here it is blank. So here after one space there is one more percentages. So first one is from sender, which we have it here. Second is receiver. You remember this receivers were a list, so I will just type list. uh, in this list we are joining all the elements of the list using a comma, so that one string will have multiple receivers. And then the subject, which is test email, I will just add subject here, and then body. So body is my test body. So this completes my message. And then if I go back to this, message is complete. Now let's create the connection. The connection will be here, the server. So it's server is equal to, I have this smtp library input, smtp dot smtp. So here I will have two things. One is the server and the port. So for Outlook, remember, you have to follow this. Outlook server name is smtp-mail.outlook.com, and if you are using Gmail, then it should be something like this. I will just mention it here in case you are using Gmail, you can use it, smtp-gmail.com. But please remember, if you are using personal Gmail ID, this is not working because Google has stopped using less security apps from 2022, October 2022. If you're using some company Gmail or Google Workspace, then this might work, but you need to check that. But port is same, so no need to worry on that. Once you have this server, so next thing what we need is we need the TLS. So here TLS will be our server dot start TLS. So it will be server dot start TLS. And once you have the start TLS, you know this credential, we have to log in now. So to log in, it will be server dot login, and then we have to send the sender. We already have sender stored here. This is the sender, and password I have also stored it in this mail credential. I will just copy it and I will type password here. So it's in under the key password of the dictionary. Once I have this, next is a send message. So to send a message, what you have to type is, it will be server dot send mail, and then you need the following, like uh, to send mail you need this sender, receiver, subject and body. So I already have that in message, so it will be sender, receivers. There are multiple receivers in the list. That's the reason I told receivers should be a list. Here if you send one single email, it will not work. Even if you have single email, put that inside a list and then send it, and then this message subject. So once you do that, and I will run that script, let's see if it is sending or not. So remember, I am in Python 2.7.12, and see, this has been done. Let's check if mail is sent or not. I will go back to my email, and I will see the mail has been sent. So this is the test email subject 6 minutes ago. So this is working fine. Now here I have only sent a subject and a body. What if I want to send some attachment along with this? So for that you have to make some certain changes here. Let me just delete everything, and till SMTP library I will keep it, and from here I will import some modules which is already available in IRONPYTHON 2.7. So here I am importing some encoders and some multi text, so that I can include several attachments, and this is also to add some attachments. And then from here I will create the message, and message looks something like this. So this is how it looks like. So I'm creating a message which is multi-part. So from here I have a from, which is sender is my mail cred, and then it was sender, key sender, and then receiver. Here receiver also I need to add. So receiver was a list, and from here I have mail cred. My dictionary was receiver, key is receiver. From here I have a message and a body. Now there is something I have commented out. It says message dot attach. Right now I am attaching this body as a plain text. Let's say you want to attach a HTML in which you will have certain tables or images, something like that. You can use this one. So right now I have a simple message, and once I do that, let me attach some attachments as well. I have two images here. This one is just a tripod stand, the other one is iPhone. So here what I will do, I will create a dictionary in which I will have two file paths. First one is this one, so I will copy the path from here, and this, let me make it as a raw string, otherwise it will give me an error. And then next one is 2.jpg. This is copy path. And now I have this, and then what I will do, I will just loop over, and I will copy the script and show you what it is. So what it is doing is, for file in files, for each file, it will open the file, it will change the encoding. So this, this application encoding is something like this. And then it will make it as encode as part. It will change the part to this encode, which is base 64. It will add the header, and then whatever attachment file is coming up, it will add this attachment. So you have opened that file as an attachment. That attachment will be added, and then then each attachment will have a name. So that name I'm getting from the path. I will split this path name from the end and take the last name. So here it will be 1.jpg and 2.jpg, and then finally I will attach that part into the message. Once I do that, I'm ready to send the email. It will be something like this. So first thing, same thing repeats. So you have a connection, credential, TLS security, send message. Here I have first I have the server which is connecting to my Office 365. Port remains the same. Then I will start the TLS, which is the encryption. Then I will log in with my sender ID and password, and I have some print statement, and then I will send the email. Like I have this sender. Sender, I think it's not available, so I will just replace it with sender. And for receiver, I will make it as receiver. So here it's not a list, it's just a single mail, a single receiver. If you want multiple receiver, put everything under a string. There you have to send string. So let me rerun this. Let's see if attachments are going or not. These are the two files which are being sent. That's why it's showing the path. I had a print statement here, this print file. That's why it's coming. Now you have received a message, server is working fine, sending email to Outlook. Let's check if that email has come up. And I will just open that email from other window. You will see the same test subject one. This is the automated message, and you will see two files come up, and you will see the name. This is what I was talking about. It was taken out from the path, and this is 1.jpg and 2.jpg 0 minutes ago. Now let me change this version to 2.4. I have this 2.4, and remember our Ansys IronPython is 2.7.4. So if I run the same code, you will see ideally it should not work. I know that, and you will see it's telling the client and the server cannot communicate because they do not possess common algorithm. So what is happening here is, for example, I have a client and a server. Client and a server. So here client is myself, so I am sending this. So myself, and server is Outlook. So what happens, this Outlook has some TLS version, and myself, which from where I am executing the code, let's say Ansys or Ansys, it has a TLS version. They both are not compatible. That's the reason it is not connected. Now Ansys has 2.7.4, but here 2.7.12 is working fine, but 2.7.4 is not working. That's the reason they both are not compatible, and you are getting such error. So what is a workaround? So what I figured out is, I did not find anything that was talking about CLR module within IronPython. So I thought of creating something new using this, and I started looking at .NET framework commands. So now we will use the .NET framework method and see how to connect that. But this, for whatever I have shown you here, this one, this remains the same. This will work everywhere. Okay. Now let's go back to my this module and delete everything. No, not delete everything, because I still need my username and password. I will delete whatever was used by IronPython. Now, so in .NET framework method, every time you need CLR module. CLR module is nothing but common language runtime. So what it does is, it connects your compiled language to native language to communicate with the system, to keep it simple. So let's import the CLR module. So CLR is inbuilt in IronPython. I'm still in 2.7.4. So in CLR module, I have to add a reference to an assembly. So this is nothing but system.dll assembly. It is inbuilt in every Windows system. so there is no issue with importing from outside. From system, I need two things. One is system.net. I'm importing it as net, and from there I am one more is system.net.mail. This is actually my SMTP, you can say a namespace. From there I will try to import certain classes, constructor, methods, properties. Next is I need to create a message. So first let me create a message. So there are several ways to create a message, like this one. This is the most simple method. Like I have a sender email address, I have a string which has multiple receivers, then I have a subject which is also a string, then I have a body, and that's it. But this is not very good approach, because I will show you there are other methods as well which has multiple properties associated with that. So this is that one. First, from this SMTP server, I'm calling this class, and this is a constructor. I'm constructing a mail message. From there I have certain properties. This from, to, CC, BCC, these are not available in this simple string. So that's the reason I chose this method. From here, from, so from cannot be a simple string with the email address. So this is my email address. You cannot just pass in a string. It should be of type mail address. So within this SMTP class, I have a mail address. One more from this SMTP name class, I have a mail address class. In that I am sending this email address, and then in message.to, to whom I am sending, I have to add it. Remember, from is a get and set property, but to is just a get property. That's the reason I am adding this add. So how do you know that? If you go to .NET Framework API and just search mail message, then you will get this. To is a get and set property, or from is a get set property. Here I am adding this email address. This is a string of my receiver, one email address. If you want to add multiple email address, just do multiple adds and you can add multiple email address. In this subject, I have this test email 2. One was already tested. This is 2, and then this automated message body. So this is the body. Now the reason I chose this method is you have this CC option, you have BCC option also. There are several options along with that message. When you search in .NET Framework API for mail message, you will automatically get all these properties. Here one more is the is body HTML. For example, this body I am using complete HTML string, which I will show you in a moment. Then at the time, if you make it true, it will automatically parse that HTML. Now once I have the message ready, and then let's do the attachment as well. So I already had that files. I think I lost it, so I will just type once again files. First one was 1.jpg path. I will add a raw string here, and then raw. One more is here. I will make it 2. So I have 2 files here, and to make an attachment, it is very simple here. You don't need any encoding or any kind of things which we saw previously. So all you have to do is just loop over the files. In the message, you do an attachment. In you remember this SMTP namespace. Within that, there is one more attachment class. In that, I will add this file. I am going through each and every file. Here I don't have to send the name also. It will automatically take this name. And then in the attachment, which is just a get property, so that's the reason I'm using this add method, and then I'm sending the attachment. Once this is done, and then I am ready to create those 4 things which I talked about. One is my client. Client is same Outlook. Gmail is not working. Personal email has stopped working. You can check with your personal Google Workspace from, so not personal, Google Workspace email from a company or something. And then I will enable SSL, which was TLS before. Here it is true. Then credential. Again, the reason I imported system.net is I wanted to create a network credential, which is my sender and password, and then I will send the message. If I run, this works with every version of IronPython. That's the beauty of this CLR module. So you can see from here, I am already in 2.7.4, which is the same as my Ansys application IronPython version. If I run this, I believe I should not get an error. Okay, there is no error. Let me go back to my Gmail, and if I refresh, and I should see my email, which is test email 2. So which is same as this. You can see test email 2, same. I have not sent the name of the files, but still these names are available, and body, everything is perfectly fine 0 minutes ago. Now before you close down, just remember you have to do this. You have to dispose message and client, so that any resource that is being being consumed will be disposed. So I will do message.dispose and client.dispose. This is a good practice. Now that everything is done, let's go back to Ansys. I already have this Ansys module here. I have a geometry. So what I wanted to show you is, let's say you have done an analysis and you have sent it for overnight run or maybe a weekend run, and analysis fails in between. How will you know? You are not at home, your server is at the office, but you have access to your email, office email. So what you can do is, suppose your analysis fails, you can send an email to your office email telling that the analysis has failed, and it will also send the solve.out file where you can see why it has failed from your mobile. You can also send all your warning messages. Let's say now the analysis has passed, you have certain deformations plot, you can have the geometry plot, you can send all these plots uh, to your email. So let's see how it works. So right now I have a model, I have given a force here, but I have not given any fixed constraint because I want to make it fail uh, on its own. So this is the complete script. You remember this I already have my username and password here. Everything is same. Certain things have been added up. I will show you what it is. So A1 is my first analysis. This is analysis.0. A1.files is where my analysis files are being saved. So if I go to A1.analysis setting at the bottom, I will have this analysis data management, and you will see all my files are located here. So I am just copying that file, and I know that file will be in this A1 files. So in this A1 files path, I am just appending or adding this solve.out file because I need this. And a1.s is my a1.solution. This is the solution. So I am checking whether this solution is pass or not. So in this a1.s object state, which is a hidden property, here I will come to know whether this analysis is solved or not. If it is solved, then I will have my email subject as analysis succeeded. If there is anything apart from this, maybe a failed or something, then I will have this analysis failed. And then again, these things are pretty straightforward. I have a sender email, receiver email, everything. Then this solve a1 solve file. So if you know, a1 solve files is my it's a single file. I should not be writing files. I will just delete fs from here. And the reason I have inserted into a file is, let's say I want to send this images also. So at that time, what I will do is, I will just add those image path here. So that's the reason I have kept it in a list. I'm looping through the list, and then I will attach all those files present in that list, and then I will send the email. So let me just make some couple of changes here. So in this mail address, from mail, you can send a email, I mean sender, some false name. So here I will write Ansys service alert. I will show you how beautiful this looks like. So Ansys service alert I have added. This will be my, instead of test email, I will just type Ansys analysis update. This is the automated message. This everything is good. I have some attachment which is my solve.out file. Okay, so before I do, I will just run this analysis. Usually this will be a part of automation, but right now I am just doing the analysis. And let's see if analysis solves or not. Okay, so the analysis has failed. You will see there are 4 messages. My intention is also to send these messages. Okay, these messages will also go to your email. I have a separate video on messages, how to capture this, and that we will send here. And then now this solution has failed, and in this solve.out file, obviously you will know why this has failed. You know how to read this, right? So let's send this solve file along with this. So in this solve file, I will just show you the time. So this is showing like 7 March 1819, right? So I will just send it. I will run the script. Let's see what happens. Okay, so the mail has arrived. This is how it looks like. So you will see why I was writing Ansys service alert instead of mail address. It is coming as Ansys service alert, and this is the analysis update. Actually, actually I did an error. This I added this right subject. So here instead of analysis update, I will just do something like this dot format, and I will add sub here. So this looks beautiful. Let me close this, and I want to show you what it will means I want to add in the subject whether analysis has failed or succeeded. So I will just run once again. Okay, the mail has arrived. So this looks something like this. So the moment it will read, actually once the analysis failed, it will execute the script. So you will get immediately. So Ansys analysis update, analysis failed, and you will see this automated, and you also received the solve.out file. So if you download that, of course, you can read through your notebook plus plus or any notepad editor. So, and if you go at the end, so you will see 7 March, same time, 7 March, 18, 19, same thing. So now, let's do one thing. Along with this, let's say, along with this, if analysis has succeeded, I want to see this deformation plots in my email. So what I will do is, within this analysis succeeded, I will pass on this files at the top so that I can add those files. Here it will be, so I know where my figures and images will be. So my figures and images are somewhere here, which is this path. I will just copy this path, and I will do some iteration like fig is equal to, okay, so this is my figures and image, and here I have one, let me do a fixed constraint here, and let's see what happens. I will solve it. Let's see if images are updated or not. And then I will create insert, not insert, sorry, image. This image is there. So this is already available in that folder. Yes, it is available. So when you delete, usually you should be deleting these files also. So that's fine for the time being. So what I will do is I will import OS and os.list directory, and if I type fig, then I should get illegal characters. So I will rerun this, and here I have to type r raw string and rerun this, and you will see there are 3 files, and I want to send these 3 files to my email address. So what I can do is I need to attach the path as well, right? So it should be for img in this, and then, okay, before that I need to create one more list. So it will be like image list. Okay, and then here what I will do is for image in os dot list directory dot this. So I have my images here, and it will be image list dot add what, and then it will be a string. So this will be fig plus, and then img. Let's see what it is returning. Let me run image list once again. Is this path correct? Figure images. Okay, slash is not added. Static images slash should be added. So I will rerun this. Forward slashes is not added. So I will replay this in here. It will be plus, and then I will have this forward slash, one more forward slash, and then plus. Then I should have my image list properly. And yeah, after images I am having the static images. Now if you remember, I already had these files. So now here what I will do, files dot extend. You should not be typing append will add one more list to that. So if I do, and if I type files once again, you will see it has added individual element. So we are good with this. So let me add that code within this sort. So what will happen is, for this one, images, this is correct, images list, and then I will add this for image in, no, I will have to add this import OS. So this will be import OS, and below here I already have this os.list there, right? So for the time being, I will hard code this image folder, which is fig, so that yeah. So I already have this. Now image list is fine, and then from image list I will just extend this files dot image list, and then it will go through all the files. Now we are good. Let's see if it is sending along with solve.out file. I should be getting 3 images, this one, and the old image. Okay, let's do one thing. Let me delete this old image. So ideally it should send 2 file and 1 solve.out file. So I'm rerunning this. Let's see what happens. Okay, though my email has arrived, so you can see analysis succeeded mail. This is the automated message, Ansys service alert. You saw this image, the information image, and the solve.out file. So we are good. Now let me do one thing. Instead of now I need to send this warning message also. So let me do one thing. I will suppress this fix support, suppress, and messages I will clear. Okay, message. Okay, right now let's not focus on the message. I already have the image, but I wanted to show you the HTML way of doing things. That's very beautiful actually. Okay, so before I create a body, so body is something I wanted to add warnings here. So I will just delete it here. And then here I want to show you something. Let's say I have couple of warnings here. So warnings here, I already have this warning, but right now let me keep it in some like warning 1, warning 2, and warning 3. And from here I am creating certain HTML code. So I will just show you what it is. I will rename this. Okay, let me just explain what I did. This is an HTML code. Okay, so right now I have these are rows, right? So these are individual rows. I want a table which header will be named as warning, and remaining warnings I want it in rows. So right now I have row as empty. So for warning in warnings, no matter how many warnings are there, I'm adding row to the HTML. So this tr means HTML row, and then I have the HTML body. So these things are pretty static. Like I have a head, I have added a style for the table, and then I have a body. In that I have added a service alert. Let me add it, Ansys service alert. Below the list of warnings, here I have these messages. These messages are coming. This is the header actually. Th is header. Now here under tr I have this %s, which is my row. Here I am creating all these rows. I am appending the row with this individual rows, and then the body. It's previously we were having a string. Now I am having the HTML body, and here one additional thing I am doing is message.isBody HTML is true. So previously by default it's false. Now I am not sending a string, but it should pass this string as an HTML, and remaining attachments are same. These figures, everything will go as it is. Solved.out also will go. I believe solved.out is there. Let me just open solver files directory. Yeah, solved.out file is there, so that should also go. In the subject, let me just add so that it looks like it's a fresh email. Where is my subject? Ansys analysis update new, and I will run this. Let's see what happens if I go back to my email. Let me close this. So the mail has arrived, and if I show you that, you should see that Ansys service alert below the warnings, warning 1 and solved.out file. For some reason figures has not come. I think I have deleted something before. I'm not sure what it is. Let's see what files it has now. Okay, it's not appended. I think something went wrong. So files is equal to this files dot extend image list. Image list also looks good. Okay, now I understood. Actually, analysis state is not solved now. It's something else. If I run that once again, the files will go. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and this was a long waited video where you can send mails from Ansys itself. Let's say some analysis has succeeded or failed. So I hope you enjoyed a lot. If you really like this video, please share, hit a thumbs up, and see you soon in next video.